Ever since geography classes back at school, Charles Darwin and the Galapagos Islands have held a fascination. A mysterious place far away, somewhere on the other side of the Earth. Decades later, here we were. Anne and I joined a tour cruise of the islands with Hurtigruten Expeditions on the compact 90-passenger cruise ship Santa Cruz II. The Galapagos Islands are situated in the Pacific Ocean on the equator, approximately 1,000 kilometres from Ecuador in South America. The 19 islands and surrounding marine reserve has been described as a unique living museum. Its extreme isolation led to the development of unusual animal life, such as the land and marine iguanas, the giant tortoise, and many types of finches and mockingbirds. It was these that inspired Charles Darwin's theory of evolution by natural selection, following his visit in 1835. We started our exploration of the islands at Dragon Cove on Santa Cruz Island. It was on here that we had our first introduction to the sea or marine iguana. It is the only lizard in the world able to live and forage at sea, and is only found in the Galapagos Islands. There are, however, 11 similar subspecies found on different islands. The adults are black for most of the year, but change colour during mating season. And then there was the land iguana, also endemic to the Galapagos Islands. Their skin is generally yellow with white, black and brown blotches. Despite their intimidating appearance, they are primarily herbivores, feeding on prickly pear leaves and fruit. They can live for up to 60 years. Our local guide had this flycatcher filled, for a short time anyway. Bobbing around in rubber boats was something we were going to have to get used to. Tagus Cove on Isabela Island was a favourite with early pirates and whalers, many leaving their mark, some going back to the early 1830s and 40s. A short steep hike passes Lake Darwin, a lagoon, its water 2 to 3 times saltier than the surrounding ocean. Isabella is larger than all the other islands put together, being 120 kilometres long. One of the younger islands, it was formed by the joining of 6 volcanoes. All but one are still active. The hiking track took us up to volcanic outcrops called tooth cones. From up there were views of the relatively new lava fields.
Talking about geological time, then this one not as yellow as the ones we have seen, and then the third.
You can't visit the Galapagos without having a go at snorkeling in its waters. Fortunately, there is no footage of me trying to get my flippers on while entering the water. But, that done, it started to become fun. We knew that turtles were often seen here, feeding amongst the rocks. It was just a matter of finding them. A muffled signal from Anne, and there it was, a green sea turtle. That sighting made it all worthwhile. The Galapagos giant tortoise is a sight to behold. Their progress may be slow, but is definitely purposeful. And if they don't like your looks, they simply give you the cold shoulder.
Eel or Galapagos flycatcher endemic. It belongs to a family that is called Tyrannid, from the word tyrant. They are very aggressive, very territorial. In other places, like in the rainforest, I have seen them pecking on the back of eagles. Look at the vertebrae. Look at the vertebrae. And they are serrated in a similar way to our human being skull, you know, like plates. And they are serrated, interconnected, otherwise the shell will not be able to grow. But by having these plates, they are able to expand.
They are the largest living species of tortoise and can weigh up to 400 kilograms. Some of their shells are big enough for human occupation. They are one of the most famous animals on the islands, with the archipelago itself being named after them. Galapo is an old Spanish word for tortoise. At Post Office Bay at Floriana Island, a unique but practical tradition lives on. You can post a letter to anywhere in the world free of charge. The system is quite simple. A passing ship checks the mail in the barrel, and if any of its passengers are heading for the destination on the letter, they will take it with them and hand deliver it. This post office was established in 1793 by whalers, hoping to get a message back home. One day, we hoped to get a knock on the door. Bobbing up and down in the zodiacs, we closed in on a colony of fur seals and blue-footed boobies. The most distinctive of the three booby species found in the Galapagos, its bright blue feet are an indication of its diet and nutrition. The brighter the blue, the more attractive it is to a mate. Their name comes from the Spanish word bobo, meaning foolish or clown-like, referring to their clumsy movement on land. In the air, it's a different story. They are extremely agile and can often be seen dive bombing for fish, reaching speeds of up to 100 kilometers per hour. Other activities were kayaking while looking out for sea turtles in the clear waters, or peering down at a reef through a glass-bottom boat.
Could you see? All of you see in the gray with a blue tail? Yeah. It's cool. Oh, look there. Could you see all of you? All of you? Yes.
After landing at Cormorant Point, our guide led us over a hill to Flower Beach. This is the spot where green sea turtles nest. One turtle had just beached and appeared rather exhausted. And it didn't take too long to work out what these two were up to. Due to the lack of predators on the islands, animals and birds were rarely on edge around humans, which made them easier to photograph. But sometimes they became uncomfortably close, like these sea lions sharing the shade with us on this Baltra Island beach. We were having some free time where we could swim, snorkel, go for a walk, or just hang around and observe the activity, or lack of. This immature pelican certainly put on a display. It didn't seem at all happy at not catching that fish. Meanwhile, a couple of boobies demonstrated their diving skills. And, not to be outdone, most of the walks, like this one on Santa Cruz Island's Las Bachas beach, were in the late afternoon, when temperatures were cooler. You were almost certain to see something different on each island, such as these colourful Sally Lightfoot crabs. They are believed to have been named after a Caribbean dancer due to their agility and their ability to run in 4 directions instead of just sideways. This makes them very difficult to catch. A pelican needed to swallow its catch quick smart as it was attacked by a gang of common noddies. While this commotion was going on, a flotilla of spotted eagle rays cruised past. There are still rusty remains of barges left over from World War II. In fact, the name of the beach, Bachas, comes from the Spanish pronunciation of the English word barges. At Santiago Island, we left the mothership and went for a cruise to Buccaneer's Cove. This is a particularly rugged section of coastline with vertical cliffs, inlets and caves, and unusual rock formations. It's also where many seabirds roost. Early sailors, pirates, buccaneers and later whalers used the cove to drop anchor. They would climb to higher parts of the island in search of fresh water. Fresh water is very scarce throughout the islands, which has resulted in many failed attempts at colonisation. Another reason for dropping anchor here was to catch giant tortoises for food. The geology of the coast is fascinating, with layers of compacted volcanic materials taking different forms and shapes due to erosion by wind and wave action.
Sergeant Major.
You can see the nose, the eyebrow, even
A
the
little
lips.
imagination is required, but our guide assured us it was a praying monk.
Turcius truncatus.
Back on land at Puerto Egas, we were entertained by the antics of Galapagos fur seals. A lava lizard demonstrated its hunting technique, the quick and the eaten. The short walk took us to a rocky lava flow beach.
They will keep all the limbs close to their body, and they will use just the tail to get direction and the speed. The spine, the crest at the back, yes, and the function is just to look handsome.
Wildlife was happily coexisting everywhere, though these crabs were looking a little edgy.
Mama is exhausted, is sleeping.
Fur seals had made themselves at home amongst the rocks and pools, known as the grottos. A little further inland, there was much bird activity. A long lens was unnecessary, as the birds would admire their reflection in your camera lens.
Find your lens, it's going to try to be close to you. And iguanas, they are going to use the claws because...
The finch, bearing Darwin's name, along with the Galapagos mockingbird, triggered Darwin's outstanding powers of observation to support his theory of natural selection.
Give to Darwin the idea that he was in the correct path. That the animals, they can have into the same group. The animals, they can develop different skills, and these ones, in certain cases, they can be passed to the offsprings.
It was still early morning when we did our wet landing on Rabida Island, and just in time to see the flamingos take flight. Rabida is a small island 4.5 kilometres south of Santiago Island, the high amount of iron in the lava giving it a distinctive red colour. The Opuntia cactus provides food to many birds and animals that eat its fruit, seeds and flowers. Its pads can also be a source for water. Although usually pollinated by finches, the cactus can self-pollinate. Back down at the saltwater lagoon, there were still a couple of flamingos. One in particular wasn't the slightest bit camera shy. We then cruised around to the tiny island of Bartolome off the east coast of Santiago Island. As we approached the island, we were virtually swamped by dolphins. And then we noticed the island's most recognisable feature, Pinnacle Rock. In a small cove behind Pinnacle Rock, Galapagos penguins, the second smallest penguin species in the world, have established a small breeding colony. At present, they are well down on numbers, and we were fortunate to see even one or two. Anyway, who would have thought of seeing a penguin at the equator? Once we had landed, we started the long haul to the top. There is a certain attraction to the island due to its austere terrain. It is stated that it is the most visited and photographed island in the Galapagos. Lava flows and volcanic formations, including spatter and tooth cones, are seen as you ascend the track. Only the toughest of plants survive here. Once you have conquered the 372 steps to the summit, there are spectacular views of Pinnacle Rock, immense black lava flows at Sullivan Bay, and Santiago Island. We found bird life on the island to be sparse, but we did spot a Galapagos hawk. Positioned at the top of the terrestrial food chain, the rare hawk is an apex predator. In complete contrast to the lava flows on Bartolome Island was the dazzling white sands of the Mosquera sandbar. This was sea lion territory, and although they tolerated us humans, they definitely had right of way. Mosquera is a tiny islet situated between Puerto and another small island we were soon to visit, North Seymour. Whereas seals are happy to live amongst the rocks, sea lions much prefer smooth surfaces like sand, or at least smooth rocks. Both the Galapagos sea lions and seals are part of the eared seal family, having external ear flaps. The sea lions have a smooth and streamlined body shape, making them efficient hunters. Sardines are their specialty. They can dive to depths of up to almost 600 metres and can stay underwater for over 10 minutes.
For his own hand.
When not hunting, they spend a lot of time resting on beaches or playing. North Seymour Island was formed by the uplift of a submarine lava formation. It has an elevation of only 28 metres. It is host to a large number of birds, including populations of blue-footed boobies. The swallow-tailed gull breeds throughout the year, the female laying one egg. They are the world's only nocturnal gull, foraging for squid and small fish at night. But the main attraction for us on North Seymour were the frigate birds. Of the two species of frigate bird, the great and the magnificent, it is the magnificent that is found on North Seymour. Charles Darwin called them the condor of the oceans because they could spend days and nights at a time on the wing. They have the largest wingspan to body weight ratio of any bird in the world. The female is slightly larger than the male and has a white throat and breast. Breeding occurs throughout the year. During courting, a female will be surrounded by several males, inflating their throat pouches and singing with a shrill trill sound. Galapagos land iguanas are completely at home here on North Seymour, though they are not native to this island. A number of land iguanas were moved from Puerto Island to North Seymour in the 1930s, when the numbers were declining due to their habitat being destroyed by introduced goats. With the introduced ferals now under control, the iguanas are now being released back to where they belong. It's on this positive note, and with our dreams fulfilled, that we finish our visit to these amazing and diverse islands, with their variety of fascinating reptiles, mammals and birds. It's no wonder that Darwin was impressed by what he saw. We hope you enjoyed the video, so keep a lookout on our channel as there's more South American adventures to come.